Okay, this is the second part of the review. These are starting with question number 10. It says a business charges a flat rate of $6.50 for shipping. That means it doesn't matter what you're buying. It's just they're going to add on $6.50. You can spend $10, you can spend $100. They're just going to add $6.50 to your bill. So that is an additive relationship. So Y represents your total cost. Let's fix that. And X represents whatever you've spent on stuff, but you got to get it shipped to your house, and it's always going to be a $6.50 add-on. Now we have a table, and it looks like it goes with this equation that we just wrote. So look, $1 plus $6.50, $7.50. $3 plus $6.50 is $9.50. $5 plus $6.50 is $11.50. So there's different examples of how this particular equation would work. Let's see, which ordered pair would not be contained in the table? So basically, we're going to substitute our X, and we're going to add $6.50. So if we were to put it in that spot and add shipping, do we get $8.75? Well, let's see. I think we do. And then if you keep going, if you take $4 and add $6.50, you get $10.50. So these two look okay. If I take $9.50 and add $6.50, something's not looking too great. I believe if you added 9 plus 6, you get 15, but then we've got 50 cents and 50 cents. So we get much more than 15, so that is incorrect. And $12.75 plus $6.50 should give you $19.25. Problems like number 12, again, sometimes they're going to use X and Y, and sometimes. Okay, next problem. We're going to write an equation, and so from a word problem situation, it's not a bad idea just to go ahead and set up a table. So this is about mixing Gatorade, and it says we use one package for every 6 gallons of water. So it says write an equation that represents G, the amount of Gatorade packets, in terms of W. So I'm going to put G, which is the Gatorade, and I'm going to put GP to keep this straight, Gatorade packets, and W for water, and the water is in gallons. So it says I use one package for 6 gallons of water, so that means 2 packages. I would be mixing up 12 gallons of water. So if I want to write an equation in terms of W to represent the G, I want G equals. So what's happening over here? I'm dividing by 6. So I would say water divided by 6 equals Gatorade. So again, the right side of that T-chart is like the Y, and the left side is like our X. So you can write this a couple different ways. We can do gallons of water divided by 6, and if you also wrote it 1/6 times your water gives you your Gatorade packets. Either way is correct. Next page. Felipe pays $4.20 per carton for fresh eggs, and it says if X represents the number of egg cartons and Y is the cost, one of these following representations is wrong. So let's see. The first one says Y equals 4.2 times X. Okay, 420 can be written as 4.2, so that's looking okay. And then let's look at the table. 1 times 420 is 420. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 20 is 60, so these are looking okay. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 20 is 80. Table's okay. 21/5. If you take 21 divided by 5 times 4, 20. 1/5 is left over, and 4 1/5 is also known as 4 2/10. So that's okay. So must be this graph. show. Let's check it out. Okay, the 1 and the 4 look okay together. The 2 should be, let's see, it would be what, 840? That looks okay. 3 cartons of eggs is less than $13, and this dot looks like it's floating above what should be 13. So that's not looking so great. So that point right there does not look like it's correctly plotted, because that's the 13 right there, and we're not above it. So this one is wrong. Okay, it says write an equation that shows the relationship between the following coordinates. Questions like this show up on WSRs a lot. Just saying. Make a table X, Y. Okay, we have 80, and now we're at 10. 64, and now we're at 8. 40 and 5. So hopefully, if you learn your multiplication and division facts, you see that we are taking X and we're dividing by 8 to get Y. So, again, always just look at these ordered pairs, look across the table. Do not try to go down and figure out some kind of skip counting pattern. So, Y equals, you can do X divided by 8. It also can be written as 1/8 of X. Either way, you're splitting your X into 8 pieces. Next. Okay, we have a graph that shows the relationship between two people's ages. So, again, make T-charts. So we have Jace. He's on what we think of as the x-axis, and then we have Tyson. Okay, when Jace is 4, Tyson is 0. 5, and then 1. So Jace is definitely older. 6, 2. So if we take Jace and we subtract 4, we're going to get Tyson's age. So now, let's see. So Jace minus 4 equals Tyson. So if we have a 14-year-old Jace, we take away 4, we have a 10-year-old Tyson. Next one. Bella graphed the equation y equals x plus 3.5. Okay, which point does not pass through the line? Well, you got to substitute it in. So here is 0. Y equals 0 plus 3.5. Guess what? 3.5 is equal to 3.5. So that one does pass through the line that this equation would make. So if I take 4.5 and add 3.5, I get 8. If I take 9.2 and I plug it in my equation and I add 3.5, I get 12.7. So apparently this one's wrong, because if you substitute 3.5 for x and add another 3.5, it says I'm supposed to get 0. That's not going to happen. So D is the problem. All right. Okay, last page of the review. Oops. We've got a graph, and it says, shows the relationship between time and distance. And so if I expand this a little bit, I always look at what 1 is. 1 goes with 60. 2 is looking like 120. 3 is pretty clearly 180. These people are going 60 miles an hour. Pretty standard speed when you're traveling. So, look at the table. It says which one, shows the relationship between the hours and the graph. So in other words, something's wrong. So if I'm going 60 miles an hour, 3 times 60 is not 200. And let's see, 8 times 60 is not 460, it's 480. So these 3 are wrong automatically. So that looks good. 5 times 60 is 300, add another 30, get that. 6 times 60 is 360, add another half hour travel, which is 30 miles, that looks good. And 8 times 60 is 480, and add the 30 miles you would get in the half hour, and everybody is good there. And then the last step just says write an equation. So if we go back to the table, if you take 60 times your x, you're going to get your distance traveled. And that's it.